This is Orla Crilly here on Town Talk, and I am on the line with Marion Irwin of the Gaisce Awards. Can you hear me, Marion?
I can indeed, Orla. How are you this morning?
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
No problem at all. It's my pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about the Gaisce Awards.
So the Gaisce Awards, Orla, is the national personal development programme for young people under the age of 26 from the President of Ireland. And it's a challenge to young people to take on the challenge of the Gaisce Award, which is proven, I suppose, to enhance confidence and well-being through the challenges that they engage in over a period of time, depending on whether they're doing a bronze, silver or gold award.
Okay, so when they engage with it first, they'll be starting at the bronze and then working their way up, I presume?
Most young people will. I suppose most young people will encounter Gaisce probably in their transition year.
Yes.
And they will be introduced to it by their President's Award leaders, who are probably a teacher in school, or maybe it could be a youth worker in a youth project. And they would be encouraged to start at bronze and then to progress on to silver and gold. Although we do have people who enter maybe the gold award because they may not have heard about Gaisce when they were in secondary school and discover it maybe for the first time in college or when they're working, and can jump straight into a silver or indeed a gold award, just depending on what age they are, really. And we would encourage people to start at bronze because there is a kind of a natural progression route.
Yes.
And we find that if somebody has a bronze and a silver award, they're more determined, if you like, to have the three. So there's a kind of a built-in motivation there to go for the gold award if they have a bronze and a silver already.
Yes. And how long would it take to, go from, on each part, say the bronze? How much effort goes into attaining something like that? Okay,
so the bronze award, actually all levels of the award require participation in four main challenge areas. Community involvement or a voluntary activity, a personal development skill for themselves, physical recreation, and what we refer to then as the adventure journey or a team project, depending on where the young person is. And typically a bronze award order will take somebody anywhere between 6 and 9 months to achieve. I suppose the requirement is a kind of a maximum of 26 weeks for a bronze award, but we like to refer to it in real time. So in terms of real time, what might that look like? So in terms of an academic cycle, for example, somebody starting a bronze award in the beginning of their transition year in September would like to be finishing it up in May.
Yes, kind of fitting into the school schedule as well.
But you're not limited to that. So for somebody who's participating in a Gaisce Award outside of mainstream education could take that length, or they might even take a year to complete it. That would be a bronze award. Now, if you jump right up then to a gold award, you're probably talking a 2-year commitment. So you can see the difference there between a bronze award and a gold award in that it does require a significant level of commitment to achieve a gold award, which is why the gold award is kind of unique in that regard, and less people would go for and achieve a gold award in the round.
You have something like 250,000 people have attained different level of Gaisce Awards since the initiation in 1985. But how many of those would be gold awards?
Right. So we reckon close to 3,000 people would have achieved a gold award in that time. So which is a significant number of gold participants. If you were to try and work out how many community voluntary hours that involved, it's quite a considerable number of hours over that period of time.
Yes.
So it's a good number, close to 3,000 we reckon since 1985. And I suppose which is why we're kind of talking to you today, which is really to put a call out there for any people out there who have achieved a gold award to communicate with us and share their story with us. We really, really would love to gather those stories over the years and celebrate them in some kind of a book for our 40th anniversary coming up in a few years' time.
Oh, so that's the plan. You want to release a book with to inspire the next generation of people coming through?
That's exactly it, Orla. I mean, if you can imagine the different stories that that are out there in terms of the number of people who have achieved a gold award, but the the obstacles they've overcome, the journeys they took to achieve that. And, the stories I'm sure are broad and varied, and we would really love for people to get in contact with us, who may have thought, gee, I did my Gold Award 20 odd years ago, sure, who'd be interested in it? Well, we are, and we would love if they contacted us with the view to being interviewed, or maybe just tell us a little bit about their Gold Award, share with us what they can remember in some parts, or more recent, tell us the impact it might have had on their lives thereafter, because, that's something I suppose we have glimpses of, because we of course do come in contact with people who have a Gold Award, and many of them become pals, which we're very grateful for. And a pal is a President Award leader who will take on to support the delivery of the programme. And we have many, many pals who have indeed got a Gold Award. But there are thousands of people out there who, since they have earned their Gaisce Award, maybe haven't communicated with us. And we would love to hear their stories.
Amazing. And is there anyone that maybe we might know, any kind of famous names of people that have stood out over the years?
Oh, well, there's lots of people. There's a couple of people. You're putting me on.
Sorry,
that's a hard one. We'll keep that for the publication of the book.
There you go. They'll be the banners. And if someone wanted to get, if they said, "Oh, I'm actually a Gold Award recipient," how would they get in touch with you, Marion?
They can contact Emily. Emily is part of our communications team at Gaisce, and she can be contacted at community, community at gaisce.ie, or you can just log into our website, gaisce.ie, and on our homepage there's an opportunity to click on a link and fill in a survey telling us about yourself, and we can follow up with you that way.
It sounds like an amazing initiative. And I was actually reading last night about some of the different initiatives and that you've been linking in with. So Bulbs for Bees?
Bulbs for Bees was a fabulous campaign that we ran earlier in the year. Actually, it just culminated there very recently with the list of people who sent in beautiful photographs, and they're on our website as well. And you can see there were over 300 people participated in a little competition displaying the flowers, the bulbs that were planted way back earlier in the year, with the achievement of having bees actually come to their plants and sent us in some fabulous photographs. And again, that you can see that on our website as well. But the Bulbs for Bees was done in collaboration with Lidl, and we distributed thousands and thousands of bulbs right throughout the country, with a view to encouraging our bee population, which, as we know, is a very significant issue and concern for everybody at the moment, as we're enjoying this beautiful sunny day.
Yes, I think Gaisce really have their finger on the pulse there with that one. Another one that popped at me was Like-Minded, so linking in with the LGBTQ community.
Orla, that was a wonderful opportunity we had in the initial run of that programme. It was supported by Rethink Ireland with the view to specifically targeting young LGBTQIA people to participate in a programme that we were running targeted at them to engage in Gaisce. And I suppose we would have heard stories over the years where young people didn't feel they could participate in Gaisce in school because maybe school wasn't, they weren't having a great time in school, and maybe passed the Gaisce Award at that time. So this was really, I suppose, us reaching out to young people to say, look, Gaisce is for you as well. And we were lucky enough to have an amazing group of people who participated with us in the Like-Minded programme. Now, it started in 2019 and ran over 3 years. Unfortunately, COVID had an impact on it, but we culminated last year with an exhibition in the National Gallery of Ireland of the work that the young people had worked on over the course of the programme. And that exhibition, believe it or not, was the first LGBTQIA exhibition ever held in the National Gallery. So We're extremely proud of that. And again, if you go into the National Gallery website, they have all of that artwork still available to see, and the legacy is there. So for those young people, and a shout out to them if any of them are listening, really created a legacy in that work that they participated in with Gaisce and the National Gallery. But I suppose the culmination of that project really was to send a message to young people who might come across Gaisce, that Gaisce is for them, and that we want them to participate in the award, and we want to hear their voice as well. So I suppose that really was the goal of that programme, and we have run other smaller programmes since that time. So it's a cohort of young people that we really want to encourage to participate in the Gaisce programme.
That's amazing, brilliant work. And another one, there's a few that caught my eye, Wavelength, and that was linking in with refugees.
Yes, so that's currently ongoing, and Wavelength was established in 2020 really to support the work that we had started before that, working with and supporting refugees and people who are looking for international protection, to participate in the Gaisce Award as an activity that, to give them something to do in some cases, because many people, as you know, particularly those living in direct provision, have long days with not a whole lot of activity to do. So the consideration of this programme that we worked on was with a group of young people in Mosney.
Yes.
And they did amazing work. They created a community garden. They got involved in local community activities, which was a great way of introducing them to their local community as well. That programme is ongoing, supported by the AMFI funding, and we're very pleased that is going ahead, and we're still working on that. Actually, I think one of my colleagues is going away to Carlingford at the weekend, bringing a group of people away for their adventure journeys. So,
amazing. I actually, one of my sisters, many of my sisters are primary school teachers, but one, it was up until this year based in up in Julianstown, so she was kind of the local school for the Mosney kids, and she said they don't really have that many facilities. There wouldn't be any books in the rooms, when they go back home, some of the things that we take for granted, and we've been able to help our child around their education, that just isn't available to them.
And that's the thing. And I mean, what we have discovered is, particularly for the older age group, or I think those that kind of aren't necessarily engaged even in secondary school, for that older cohort who are living in direct provision, find themselves at a loose end unless there are structured activities that they can participate in. And Gaisce, I suppose, forms a really useful framework to support them in that. And there are great organisations out there who support the work of Gaisce with that Wavelength programme, who are doing amazing work supporting refugee and asylum seekers right across the country, whether direct provision or not. And obviously we'd have to mention the Ukrainian crisis at the moment, and that has added a whole other level in terms of trying to find activities and supports for young people who find themselves seeking asylum here. So there's lots of work to be done, and we're very happy that organisations have supported us in running the programme that might accommodate some of the young people that are here and maybe trying to struggle to find some kind of structure or framework that they can latch on to. And I suppose Gaisce is very useful in that regard, and we're very happy to be able to be doing that. Yeah,
it's amazing. And there was one last one. It was Gaisce Glass, Global Citizenship, UN Sustainable Development Goals. I was fascinated by that one.
Well, again, Orla, I suppose in the last number of years, people might have thought that Gaisce was just limited to secondary school.
This has really, really opened my eyes to the depth and breadth of the work that you've been undertaking. I'm amazed. It's brilliant.
Well, and that's the thing, and I suppose people might have that notion that Gaisce is just a secondary school programme. But as you've indicated, we've been casting our net very much further afield and trying to engage with lots of different communities and organisations. And the Gaisce Glass one came about through funding under the Department of Children and Youth Affairs under their Climate Justice Fund a number of years ago, where we were able to work on a programme that really targeted pals who were already engaged with us, but we gave them a structured programme to look at kind of the whole area of climate justice, and particularly looking at the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes.
And so the PALs were trained in that programme, and then that was used as an aspect of the Gaisce Award. So one of the challenge areas, namely the community involvement aspect of the award. So it was a structured programme that they were able to encourage their participants to use, and in so doing then learn about climate change, climate justice. And one of the activities for the Gaisce Glass was the notion of a soapbox, so giving young people a voice to talk about these issues, and having opening up the dialogue with their friends and their peers around the whole area of climate justice. So it's ongoing. We have received further funding for that project, and we will have new and exciting news about that for the upcoming academic cycle as well. So keep an eye out on our website for that as well, because that's still happening, and we're very excited about it.
That's amazing. You know, I'm the proud owner of a 14-year-old boy, and I'm just reading down to these, and I'm very big about getting involved in your community, and I'm sure my kids are sick of listening to me go on about, by doing small things we can make a big impact on the world around us, starting from the minute we step outside our doors. But I'm definitely going to have a look now and see how I can get him involved. He's old enough now. I'd love him to get involved in something like this.
The thing about Gaisce is, and I suppose the framework of Gaisce is such that it is often the first time that young people encounter volunteer work or community engagement, as we like to refer to it. Yeah. And it can be as simple as walking your neighbour's dog, or it can be volunteering in your local charity shop, engaging with tidy towns. But that notion that you've just indicated there, doing something that has an impact much broader than your own, than even what you believe it can have.
Yes.
And I suppose that's kind of one of the reasons we're really keen to call on those gold awardees, all 3,000 or so of them in the last almost 40 years. Can you imagine the global impact and the joined up knock-on effect that they would have created over those years?
Absolutely. And some of the knowledge they've picked up even since they've done their awards, and what more they could bring to the table now yet again. Exactly.
And I think sometimes, unless you give people the opportunity to actually reflect, well, what did this do for you? Like, what impact did doing a gold award? And we've heard personal stories where people's they might have had an idea that they wanted to do, something after college, and then they volunteered in a particular place for their gold award and discovered, no, hold on a minute, I want to do that instead. And just a complete turnaround of where they thought they were going. Yeah. And those stories are lovely, and I suppose we have some collection of those stories, but we really want to hear from more people. And it's not just because in and of itself those stories are worth hearing, I think, but I think it's for the younger generation as well to really inspire them. It's kind of, your stories are going to be put into perpetuity for the next generation coming up, and that's really exciting, I think.
It is. So we're calling on all the Gold Award recipients, going right back to 1985, to get in contact with Emily, and they can email her at community@gaisce.ie, and just get in touch with Gaisce, and maybe with the view to being interviewed and having a chat, and releasing the book for your 40th anniversary on 2025.
That's our goal, and we'd be so excited to hear from people. So delighted to get the opportunity to push that out today, Orla. So thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Marion Irwin, joining us from Gaisce. And I've learned so much today. I'm going to go back and have a new look with fresh eyes and ears. Thank you, Marion.
Lgbtq.ie is our website. Feel free, and thank you so much, Orla.
Absolutely. Take care, Marion.
Bye-bye.